What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Thank you for joining us for Thursday night's Chillax and Chats. I have Ghostdragonzw and Miss Paranormal Pixie in the back, just waiting to come on and say hi to you guys. Lots of interesting stuff to talk about tonight. I know Steven or Ghost Dragons has something that he really wants to share. Now, I recently, like within the last 30 seconds, had a personal thing come up that I have to take care of, but I don't think I'll be gone for the entire stream. But I have full faith in my two lovely other hosts that they can hold down the fort for me. So let me say hi to everybody who's here. It says 0, but I see people in here, so I hope we're not alone. Steven from Three Souls Paranormal. What's up, sweetie? Miss Smoochie. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about the whole Ouija board thing, but I can do that at the end just as easily as the beginning. Yes, Miss Paranormal Pixie's like, yeah. Well, I had a recent experience today with a client. It didn't really scare me, but it was very interesting to me. But keep in mind, like I said in the chat, it has taken me years and years to learn how to properly and safely use and close out a Ouija board. So I don't recommend any of you guys doing it. But something happened that was extremely strange with me and Miss Jules. So I will get to that at the end. I'm going to bring my two other hosts in. But guys, once you come in, just chit chat for a few minutes because it doesn't look like anyone's actually still in here because we were supposed to have an 8:15 start. So, all right, bringing them in without further ado.
Hello.
Hi. There's my beautiful other host and the handsome. So, Lara, we found headings. I don't know if you were given the opportunity to put one underneath your name, but I do want to give you for the Thursday night stream host information so that you can come in as a host and have the same access Ghost Dragons and I have. And I'm going to try to do that by the time the next stream comes up. So guys, I'm going to pull myself out and deal with this because it is time sensitive. And I'll be back in a little bit. Give it a few minutes because I did put 8:15 down as the starting time. And I just reshared. I'm going to share again and let everyone know we already started. I'll be back in a little bit, guys.
Good. See you soon. That poor girl.
All right, let me get things situated here and get myself going. Now, I do have something I'd like to share. I just showed Gemma. She was kind of freaked out by it, and I thought it'd be kind of cool. Now, I have to share the pictures one at a time because I haven't had a chance to actually put them together. So let me get this pulled up first. Okay, and go here. Hit present. Hit window. Dun, 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 dun. Do that.
You see me keep glancing over here. It's because I'm looking at the doorway. My biggest kitty is playing with toys underneath the edge of the door.
Okay. Okay. I hope everybody can see this that is still here on YouTube.
Yeah. I know. I don't need to squint at those. I recognize them.
Yes, they are very famous. It's a mural fresco that's in the monastery in Vasco. It is called the Crucifixion. Now, if you notice, down here is these ships, okay, that are in the painting at the top. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. Boom. Whoops, didn't work, did it? And go back to screen share. Hold on. Click. I'm still trying to figure all this out so I don't have to do this every time.
Take your time.
And then look at this. If you look, this is an actual video from the ISS space station. This was taken in April of 2021.
Okay.
If you look really close, let's see if I can blow it up for you.
Oh, yeah.
If you see, this is underneath the ISS spaceship. Now, we're going to go right back to this and see if I can bring it up. I hate having to keep that. Okay. There. And boom. Now, see how they're pretty much the same, especially this one right here.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely the closest of the two. Now, believe it or not, this was a YouTube video that Mr. BB3 showed of this ISS space station. And he showed
Okay.
this a little late in April. I waited as soon as I saw the craft, which is, let's do this again so we all know. This. As soon as we saw this, I saw this in the video. So I could probably show the video, at least this portion of it, because he mentions my name, gave me the okay to show it, but it's kind of lengthy and I'd like to have more time. I think Gemma would have fun with this too. Anyways, so I waited 3 weeks to show him that mural called the Crucifixion before I, compared them and sent them to him, because I figured somebody else would notice this similarity, and I was shocked that nobody did. Now, what does everybody think in chat? They are pretty close, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very close. They are very close.
Yes, I was kind of taken by that. I'm going to get some more information too.
Yeah, I'd like to see more details on.
Well, see, like I want to show the video, but I'm kind of hesitant because I don't want to cause Gemma any problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to wait on that. Let me clear this off of here. Stop. There we go. Get this off of here. And we're good. So I just thought it was kind of cool to share because I wanted to bring it back out. An article was done on it in the Sun Times, and a very small article in the back, but it had the pictures and everything. They credited him, of course, for it because it's his video that I showed him in. But when I went back to look for the article, I couldn't find it. Everything that was related to this video has disappeared except for his actual video on his channel. If you go anywhere else where everybody's tried to show it, it's been scrubbed. So I had to re-find everything to show, because I want to show this because this is not the only time this craft has been seen around the space station.
Yeah, and with YouTube, if they were anything on YouTube, they're revamping of the
they're cleaning house. They're not revamping.
Oh yeah, they did a major scrub.
I know. I've been watching everything.
Unless it's your video on your channel, they're really cracking down hard. Apparently, I know they hit Anthony over at S4 unidentified.
Oh yeah, they're just being picky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
well,
just being
and part of it is they've got it. A computer algorithm that is following the protocols, but the protocols don't necessarily allow for human variance, if you will.
Right. And let me say hi to everybody because we really didn't get a chance to do that either. Three Souls. Gemma did live the buddy, but Three Souls and Smoochie and Iris. Jill and Charlie, Chopper Morgan. That's the first time I've seen you. Gemma will be back. She's got to take care of business. Hopefully she'll get back. Anthony. Oh, sorry, wrong person. Ralph. Andrew. Yeah, I'll calm down. I never calm down. I'm always a spaz. Smoochie. So, Laura, I'm just going to let you take it away since you always got something to say. I'm the quiet one. Well, I'm the keeper of the crowd, I guess.
I'll take advantage of that because last week, Smoochie had asked a question about helping a loved one remove blockages around financial abundance. Okay. And because I wanted to take some time and really, sit and think about good advice. I mean, nothing is tried and true. I can't, make any promises. I may work miracles occasionally, but not like that. However, as I got to thinking about it, one of the things that I started doing, I guess about a year ago, because of the classes I was taking, was hopefully you're comfortable with the idea of working with different deities. There are many different pantheons throughout the world, throughout different cultures, and the person I was taking classes from, am again this year, teaches a wide variety in spirituality. And even if you don't prescribe to the idea of a religion or the religious object itself, the act of focusing intent upon something can allow for an interaction, if you will. And so I started working with Ganesha. Ganesha is from the New Pantheon and was the son of, and I've got it written down, he was the son of, forgive me, I have fibromyalgia and I will lose words just right out of the blue. And I know it, and I know what it is. Um, where is that other book? There is. Okay. Shiva. Yeah, as I picked up the book. Okay. So in the basic story of Ganesha, he was the offspring of um, Shiva and Tabaharati. And it's a hard one to say. I guarantee every time you look at it, you'll try to say Pavarotti too. However, she decided to guard this child from Shiva, its father, when it was born. And Ganesha was created. How does it put this? It was created from the rubbings of her own body to set him to watch the entrance of her chamber, was what the mother did. But basically, what it talks about is Ganesha being a guardian and also a remover of obstacles. Um, Ganesha was known to have um, won great battles and was only defeated by his brother Parashurama when he chopped off one of Ganesha's tusks. And some believe that that was done, um, that Ganesha allowed it to happen, that he yielded to his brother, because the axe that was used to do so was given to Parashurama by Lord Shiva. And he, in doing so, by allowing his tusk to be cut, allowed his father's axe to still be perceived as strong. So I would recommend doing some research on Ganesha as the remover of obstacles around the situation, around the situation of financial abundance, of letting go, because the impressions that I got as I did a read into it were that some of this was coming from you, Smoochy Smoochy. Your anxiety, your fear, your love of wanting to protect this person by helping them find that financial abundance. And then I would also recommend, and I've got cards here, and along with a couple of samples of the stones. I think I mentioned citrine last week, and citrine is a stone of wealth and abundance. It is also known as the merchant stone, and its manifestation. It's good for the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is that area of the body, that energetic center that's just above your belly button, that is our desires for stability, for abundance, for all of that wealth, knowledge, life force to come in. And so citrine I've got a little piece of just tumbled smoky citrate right here, and I'm going to see if I can hold it up to the camera and get it to focus right there, so you can see what that looks like. Now, citrine comes in a lot of variety in color and clarity. I have a couple of pendulums that are made of a much paler citrine right there. Let's see if it'll focus. There we go. And you can get it to where it's really, really super clear. You can almost see through it. It's quite beautiful. I see they made a comment, but I can't read it. Can't hear you, hun.
Mute. Me and mute.
That's okay.
We got a verdict on the financial thingy, Pixie. It's turning out okay. So
Oh,
she's doing
good.
okay.
All right. So what I would recommend though is continue to work with these things that I'm suggesting to keep any blockages from happening, to allow that to flow in its best manner and to continue to flow. So with the citrine, you can also have yellow aventurine. So yellow aventurine, it's a healer of relationships. So when you pair yellow aventurine with citrine, you have a healer of relationships around abundance. And just getting a couple of these tumbles just to keep with you or to gift to this person, um, and tell them this, that these are just, in the hopes that maybe they'll bring you a little bit of good luck, financial abundance, and well-being. So I really hope that helps. Um, I'm still trying to get accustomed to being able to do this for you, um, as a group publicly. I've only ever done this like one-on-one. And so I really appreciate you listening to my ramblings,
Ramble, ramble,
and
ramble. You women, that's
what
all I do.
what information I'm able to gather and
See,
bring to you.
I just listened to the rambling and just said, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Um, Gemma's taking care of business, so she'll be with us hopefully soon. Um, anybody got any questions for Pixie? Now would be a good time to
Yeah,
ask
either one
them.
of us.
I mean, if they got questions for me, that's fine. I'm good either way. This would be a
Yeah, or
good
just
time.
subjects they'd like us to talk about.
So I love bowl. I used to bowl. I love to bowl. They're
Oh,
talking
same
about
here.
bowling and they're talking about bowling in chat. Yeah, I love bowling.
Jealous.
Can't
Yeah,
anymore. No, no. But I would love to.
yeah.
It's like I
No, my
used to like
body.
play golf. I can't watch golf, but I love to play golf. Now my thing is pinball and no, it's always been pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Can yes, here she go. Here we go. Yes, can send. Well, let me get this up here because my verb, my I'm having voice problems, folks, and I'm getting ready to go in and get it taken care of in a couple weeks. So for about a week, I won't talk. So you'll get to love that because I never talk anyway. Anyways, let's get to her
Sign
questions.
language.
I may have Gemma teach me someday. Um, says yes. Can selenite charge all crystals? Crystals.
Yes. Yeah. So selenite, not only does it help charge your crystals, you and this is just a little piece of the selenite saber here. I've actually got a selenite charging plate, that when I get a new crystal, just to get it balanced to my energy, the energy in the house, I take it and I will put it on that selenite plate. And I usually will leave it for 24, 48 hours. Um, you, it is a natural clearer of your energy field. So whether you use it, um, to clear the energy of your crystals, your body, a room, a space, use it, wave it, and put it around your phone. Um, think of it in terms of it is like a deionizer. And so it is changing all of those negative ions to positive ones. It's rebalancing whatever it's coming in contact with. That's also, salt. Your best form of purification is is used. It is a natural clear. It can help charge your crystals because of the ionization. So yeah, absolutely. Selenite is good stuff.
Everybody's talking about sports now. It's cracking me up. Folks, don't you have any focus? Let's focus here. Ask the woman
Do
some
I need to get a
questions.
laser pointer? Focus, focus.
Focus, focus. Gemstones. Oh, okay. Hold on. Do all jaspers hold the same qualities as quartz, etc., or do the different types of the same family, jasper, red jasper, ocean jasper, etc., hold different properties? That's a good question.
Very good question. Very good question. So, all jaspers, and let me do this because when you have similar issues that I do, books are our best friends. And I prefer good old fashioned books that I can hold, books that I can smell. Why do you think I have the library back here? With jasper, which is actually one of my favorite stones, you you know have to also consider that color has let me say this right, a energetic signature. So, for instance, red jasper would be, strongly associated with the root chakra, which has a deep reddish color, because of its deep color. Scientifically, if you looked at it, think of colors, wave forms on the color spectrum. And so it resonates with that same energy. It's a deeply grounding stone. Now, if you get, for instance, do I have one of them on? I do. So this particular bracelet, I'm going to just hold it up. I know you won't be able to see it very well, but this has several beads of ocean jasper that has lots of chrysocolla and um, other minerals in it that are lighter. Their energetic signature is much airier, or in this case, also watery, because the color, again, the blues, the greens, the sandy colors are all associated to, the beach, the ocean, the water, the ocean floor. And I know for some folks, they're like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo. But when you start to really study how we interact as a physical being between our environment and its color vibration, you start to realize just how impactful that can be, both physically and spiritually. Um, I've been an artist my entire life. For the time I could pick up a crayon, a pen, pencil, I would draw, I would paint. And so I've studied and taught art classes my whole life. You get to that point where you realize that even just certain colors and the act of observing them has an effect on your mood. That is an effect on your energetic body. It is changing the way your body is reacting to its environment. So, when you realize that, I'm really drawn to a specific color, it's very fascinating rabbit hole to dive down and see what those colors associate to. With the jaspers, and I'm going to flip through here real quick.
When you get done, I got another question for you.
Okay, that's great. Jade jaspers. Haha. Okay, so with jaspers, I mean, of course, the most common coloration you're going to see is this reddish brown, but you're going to have a variety of colors from sand to blue to very reddish yellow to a bright yellow or any combination thereof. Let's see, what is the best recommendations? So, if you think about it in the terms that those colors will associate to the different chakras in the chakra system, I'm going to just glance through these very quickly. So, blue jasper, of course, would be for the throat chakra, to help you speak clearly. Purple jasper, for instance, stimulates the crown chakra, and helps open the crown chakra. Green jasper would be any part of the heart chakra and anything that associates with that, helps balance your sense of self, your sense of well-being, your sense of love. Let's see. So we go to yellow jasper. Helps protect in spiritual work. Also, physical travel is another one that it's good with. And then, let's see, Mookaite jasper. Mookaite is actually one of my favorite jaspers because of the variety of colors that it comes in. You'll see it, and I'll try to remember to grab a piece to show off. And it comes in this beautiful, everything from the deep reds, oranges, swirls into the yellows, into the creamy whites. Let's see, Mookaite jasper also is known to help balance both the inner and outer experiences. So think of not only an experience of going to a movie with a loved one and, oh, how does this movie make me feel? Does it make me feel joy? But also those outer experiences of how does it change what's going on around me, the people around me, their laughter, those outer experiences, how do those affect me as well as what I'm perceiving my emotions to be? So, it's a good one to work with for that type of experience. Let's see, Picture Jasper. Picture Jasper in this particular book um, helps to bring to the surface when you're feeling, whether it's guilt or envy, hatred, love, thoughts that are normally pushed aside. So think of that as, um, I really love this person, but, you know, I know that it's just not the right time for us, or maybe there was someone else, and dealing with those types of emotions and that energy. So it's a good stone to work with for that. So yeah, there's a really wide variety of the jaspers that can be worked with, just depending on what purpose you are wanting to achieve.
Okay, well, here's the next question. I have an
Mhm.
Orbison Native American arrowhead. I know I said that wrong. Anything I should know
Obsidian.
about it? Obsidian, that's what I meant to say.
Okay, so question number one: is it a modern piece, a
No, it's an
reproduction,
arrowhead. It's an older
or is
one.
it's an original? Okay,
Yes.
so with obsidian, one, just from the standpoint of the stone, obsidian is a very deeply grounding and protective stone, but that is also in the form of an arrowhead, which one we don't know, was it ever used? How was it used? If it wasn't used, was it something that was treasured? So there's still potential for energetic signatures to be attached to that particular piece.
Yeah, he
Okay.
said it's
With
slow motion said it's the real deal. So it's a
Yeah, so if it's the real deal, the things to keep in mind ethically are where did it come from? Who does it belong to? With Native American artifacts, honestly, my personal choice is to give it back to whatever culture that is. Okay. But that's because I've grown up in New Mexico with archaeologists and anthropologists all around me trying to preserve the native culture that was darn near wiped out here. Um, that said, I also believe that our spirits, our spirit guides, our guardians will put things in our path for us to find for a purpose. So, in many beliefs, obsidian is also used to cut ties with things, whether it's an energetic cord that you may perceive to be between you and someone or you and something, or to open and or close a circle. Um, I know of at least one lady that I've talked to through the chat, through my classes, that mentioned the idea of in her healing work as a crystal healer, energetic healer, that when she's actually doing a healing session, she'll use it to sort of scrape away or pull out any stuck energy. So, literally, like with this piece of selenite in the palm of my hand, she doesn't even touch the body, but she's passing it through the energetic field of the person to help pull away and remove that stuck energy. Now, am I advocating for or against that? Neither way. That's up to an individual's choice. Um, I would be curious to see what your impression of what's the energy like when you hold it? What is the very first thing that pops into your mind? Because those are always the right ones. 9 times out of 10, that first image you get, that first thought, sound, color, taste is going to be the correct one. But when we start second guessing ourselves and our intuition, that's when uh, we'll get jumbled up messages. So I would really be curious to see what they perceive when they hold the piece. Because for myself to do a reading on an item, I would much prefer to do something like that with a more one-on-one. Like if, for instance, Stephen, you had something that you wanted me to do the read on, and you held it up, or you held it in your hand, or whatever. It's more of a one-to-one. Whereas with someone asking the question and then it being relayed to me, I don't have as direct and clear
right.
connection. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I am talking to Aunt Edna here about finding
Uh-huh.
arrows heads and stuff. And yes,
Uh-huh.
and I'm actually around a lot of Hopewell and Adena mounds where I live. I'm close to the Chillicothe ones down there. I'm also very close to the Serpent Mound, but there are a ton of little ones all around where I live. In fact, I know of ones that have never been touched and are still kind of tucked away. And I did show a ranger just for their sake, so they know they were there, and if they have to
Mm-hmm.
preserve them, just preserve them. But right now, nobody knows they're there.
Right.
They're in places they can't really be gotten to. But yeah, and the stuff I found around these mounds are amazing. Actually, there's a place. There's the Ohio Historical Center here down in downtown Columbus. They actually have quite a few of my stuff, and friends of mine that we go hunting, they have our
Yeah.
stuff. We immediately give it to them. I've kept a few things stashed away. I've got one thing put in a safety deposit box. Someday it'll be worth. It
Mm.
probably is worth money. But yeah, the serpent mounds are
Yeah.
really cool.
Oh,
Anna,
I
you would
bet.
really find them very fascinating. You get a really strong, tense. There's
Yeah.
some feelings around that mound that really get you set off. And there's actually a number of people that kind of stay quiet about it, but they believe that the serpent is not holding an egg. They believe it's holding fruit, and that the tip of the fruit is actually pointing into the direction of Eden. But nobody's been able to prove
Interesting.
that because it's all also lined up with the stars and stuff. So
Nice. I
somebody got
mean,
another
somebody.
question? Let's see what we can find here real quick.
And I apologize. Unfortunately, until I get a little bit better set up
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. They were
with my
asking what your
visualization.
biggest
Yeah.
crystal was. If you, what is your
My
bigger,
biggest,
what's your, I don't have. And the biggest crystal I have is that, and I don't even know if that's considered crystal.
I would have to say it's probably my gazing sphere. I'm thinking about all the different ones that I've got. And I've got a fairly large piece of um, celestite, but I'm looking at it right now. I've got both a cluster of celestite and then I've got a shungite sphere. Hang on. I'm going to go off camera for just a second because it's around behind the camera. And for those of you that don't know, shungite is actually very physically dense stone, um, as is celestite. So let's get set back down here. This was actually one of the first large acquisitions that I made. And this particular piece here, I would say weighs roughly 9 pounds of shungite. Shungite is a very, very grounding stone, a very protective stone as well, just like obsidian is. And when I first got it, it doesn't, shungite polishes fairly well, not quite as high polish. And let me see if I can hold this up. This is onyx. And so onyx gets a really, really high sheen to it. But I was wanting a gazing ball for doing my meditations. One of the meditations that I have learned to do over the years is you can do it with a candle, a gazing meditation. And so you will find an object and have put that object in your field of view and soften your gaze upon it until you relax into it and then begin to allow yourself to see yourself from the point of view of the object. So it's a practice on telepathy and on remote viewing would be one way. Um, clairvoyancy, clairvoyance, clairvoyancy. So That's one of the ones that I have. The other one I have, and we may have a cat quake here in a moment as Miss Kaylee comes in for a visit, and that is, see if I can get it focused. There we go. My celestite cluster. And celestite, one of the main reasons I decided to get the larger piece when I saw it is for connecting you to your higher self and to angelic realms. So this past year, I started working with my own guides and guardians and celestial guides. And so I use it in my meditations when I'm working on communicating with those guides and guardians to receive whatever messages they're giving to me. So, yeah, those are a couple of my two biggest pieces.
Here's the scoops, folks. Gemma is, as you can see in her text in the chat, she's having some issues, so she's not going to come back.
Okay.
And I am going to go and try to help figure things out. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream, if that's all right with you, Laura.
That's fine with me.
And we're going to see you guys all Monday. I'll bring the pictures back of the UFOs and stuff that I got, and a couple other things I've got tucked away because I wanted to talk about. But I seem to think that that will be a better time to talk about it, anyways. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Please be safe, be kind to each other, as Gemma would say. Much love and respect to you all, and let's have a wonderful end of the week and a wonderful weekend. Okay.
Many blessings to all of you.
Yes, Miss Minnie, and we shall see you all soon. All right. Good night, all.